Better to have never made an oath than to make one and break it.
Yeah.
Amen. I was always afraid to get up and say, I want to serve God no matter what happens, because I don't know what might happen.
Right.
Amen. But thank God throughout my life, His grace has been sufficient. That no matter what happened, it never drove me from God, but it drove me to God. When I had deaths in the family, it drove me to the Lord. When I had sicknesses, it drove me to the Lord. Amen. When I had financial problems, it drove me to the Lord. We're going through some difficult times right now, but it's getting better, and I see God's hand in it because it drove me to the Lord. Amen. And I'm not saying that as you know, to pat myself in the back, but I'm just telling you, that's what you need to let happen in your life. You will suffer difficult times. You will go through troubles and trials. And troubles and trials, you've heard me say many times, trials are meant to do one of two things. They're meant to make you or break you. Yeah. God means them to make you, and the devil means to break you. So it's your choice whether you're going to allow it to make you, develop you, to strengthen you, to encourage you, or you're going to allow it to break you. There's times that you'll be discouraged. There's been times, Mike, that I've said, how much longer, God? How much longer you want me to go through this? How much longer can I go through this? And then I find the grace is sufficient. What did Paul say? Paul said, I prayed that He would take it away from him, but God said that my grace is sufficient. He never took away his struggles. You know, someone said, oh, his thorn in the flesh was because he had eye problems. No, his thorn in the flesh was that he was beaten 3 times. He was shipwrecked twice. It says right before that. He said, I was beaten. I was shipwrecked. I went through opposition from the brother. And then he says, and I asked God to remove these things from me. And He said, my grace is sufficient. It tells you. But people say, oh, wonder what the thorn was. It must have been because he had poor eyesight. No. It was because the devil was fighting him everywhere he went. The devil was trying to kill him. And he said, God, how can I preach the gospel? If you remove these restraints from me, I'll be able to reach more people. And Jesus said, my grace is sufficient. The troubles is what keeps you where you're supposed to be, on your knees, crying out to me. Amen. So let's finish this up. He said, and the people said, nay, but we will serve the Lord. And Joshua said unto the people, you are witnesses against yourself. You have chosen the Lord, chosen you the Lord to serve Him. And they said, we are witnesses. Now listen to what he said. Now since you are witnesses, since you will testify against yourself, listen to what they were obligated to do. Now put away, he said, the strange gods which are among you. What's he saying? Serve God in sincerity. Serve God in truth. If you're going to serve God, your witnesses against yourself. You will testify to God against yourself. Put away the strange gods that you still have hidden in your dwelling places. What strange gods do you have in your dwelling place? What strange god do you have? I don't know. Is it the god of drugs? Is it the god of alcohol? Is it the god of food? Is it the god of pornography? Is it is it your children? Is it your family? Is it your job? Is it your car? Is it your home? Some people, their dwelling place is their God. You know what I'm saying? It's not that we do away with our home, we just don't appreciate it as much as we once did. Amen? Maybe that's why God's never let me have a really nice house. I look at my house and think we just did some work on it. It looks pretty nice right now. At least my apartment. We still got the back apartment, the upstairs to do. But I said, God, this is the nicest house I ever lived in, and it's a mess. Amen. But we got to be careful. Because we can put things before God. Things that we don't even realize. Inanimate things that we think is just a blessing from God, but it becomes greater to us than the blesser. See, God is the greatest, And He will bless us on many occasions, but we have to be careful that we don't allow the blessing to become higher than the blesser. Amen?
That makes sense.
So He says, put away the strange gods which are among you. And this shows me something. Which are among you. They still had them there. They had made a proclamation they're going to serve God, but He said, okay, now put away the gods that are among you. Put away the gods that you still have hidden somewhere. Remember Rachel when she came out from Laban's house? She had his gods, and she put them under the seat. She sat on them so he wouldn't find them. Coming to serve God. Stealing her, just like Daddy. Stealing the dad's gods. I don't know if she stole them because they were gods or she stole them because they were gold. See, either way, the gold was her God. How many of you know people that